Welcome to Rediscovering America. I'm your host, Robert Brown. Now in this episode here, it's for a class project, basically. Okay, I'm a student here at the University of Texas at El Paso. Again, we had a class assignment in one of my classes, which was dealing with my major in dealing with multimedia journalism. And for this class, we had to conduct an interview. Given an interview, one of our students had did us the favor of being the interviewed. His name is Michael Farrar, and he's on the UTEP football team. Okay, so like I said, this is basically just a class project that we did, and I videotaped it, and I'm going to be putting it up here so that the class can view it as well. And we'll just be going on that interview, and basically it's students who had to give their name and an associated news press of who they think they should be. So you'll see people saying El Paso Times instead, or KVIA, or other things, and these are just part of the project that we had to do for the class. And they're not really members of those organizations or anything like that. It's just, like I said, a class project that we had to do, learning about interviews and conducting interviews and being part of an interview process. So on that note, let's go on to the class and get in with the program here. Thank you.
It's made up. We're very pleased to have with us today from the UTEP Miners Football Team, number 37, running back, Michael Farrar. Is that right? Close enough? Say it for us. Farrar. Farrar. That's easy to say. Farrar. Farrar's not easy to say. Farrar. Michael Farrar. We're very happy to have him with us today. We apologize, except for Bobby, who remembered his birthday, but we apologize for forgetting Michael's birthday, which was the 23rd of March. So happy birthday and welcome. Thank you so much. To begin, who would like to ask the first question? The lady in the black in the back. Please identify yourself and your news organization.
Hey Mike, I'm Monica Lascano, Maxim Magazine. You ride a crotch rocket daily, which must really do something for your adrenaline. How else do you get an adrenaline fix?
I also like to race my cars too. So that's one way I get my adrenaline rush, not just my crotch rocket, but being on the football field and in the huddle with all my teammates. So it's a pretty big adrenaline rush too. As soon as they call your number, you know what I mean.
Okay. How do your coaches feel about you riding? I mean, with all the dangers, do they ever warn you not to? Or?
No, they just tell me to wear my helmet. They just tell me to wear my helmet. Haven't really said too much. I try not to. I try to stay out of sight when I'm on my bike around them. Out of sight, out of mind. But I try to be as safe as I can.
Okay. Thank you.
Next question, please. The gentleman in the baseball cap.
Brand Moreno with KRAMTV. Did you participate and play youth football, or what time how old were you when you started playing football?
Well, I first started playing football when I was 8 years old for the Northeast Raiders out in Northeast, Veterans Park. And from there is really where I kind of took off, where I found my love for football. And instead of playing since I was 8 years old, won a couple Little League championships here in the city of El Paso. It was a great time, and it never stopped.
Does El Paso have a truly organized youth football league?
Yeah, they do. It's gotten much bigger since I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was about 12 teams in the Northeast, maybe about 30 teams around the whole city, you know. And now, it's like 30 teams in the Northeast but alone, you know. So it's gotten real big, much bigger than from when I was a kid. It's really good to see.
And what made you, when you were young, I guess, what made you develop into a college football player now? What did you learn then that you've carried on?
Well, that's a good question. I was always a little knucklehead kid, man. And it seemed like what kept me out of trouble was playing football all the time. And football season was over, and there was something else I was getting into. And football season was in, and I was always doing just fine, you know. So it kind of kept me on the straight path, being in football and staying active.
Okay, continuing with the baseball cap theme, the gentleman in the Yankees cap.
Hi, Michael. My name is Fernando Ornas, and I'm also with Maxim. I wanted to know, since you grew up in the town that you're playing for, were you a big supporter of that team, of the UTEP Miners when you were growing up?
Not really. Nah, gotta be honest, man. When I was a kid, I wanted to go to Notre Dame so bad. Man. That was my school. That was my first school of choice. And shoot, as I got older, I realized Notre Dame was really stretching for me, really stretching for Notre Dame. But I applied myself. However, I got hurt. I got hurt a couple times in my high school career. And then, once Gary Nord came to UTEP, then UTEP spirit rose around the whole city. It wasn't too bad playing for UTEP, but that was a one-year flop. So, but for the most part, it was good to come back home, be able to still play football for a town that I'm already known in. It was a new coaching staff, but like I said, the people here, they already knew who I was. So it was good. It was a good choice I made.
Okay. And to follow up, I wanted to know if what would you say? Would you say being a college football player, does it make you a chick magnet, or does it make you a metal man?
No, I wouldn't say so much as a chick magnet. No, 'cause I just come to school, go to class, weights, football practice, and back home. I don't know. I don't really get caught up too much in the atmosphere. If I was on the scene all the time, in the parties happen. I've had one in my house before, but I don't really get caught up too much in it because I'm much more mature. And I know it's a business, you know what I mean? And this is a privilege to play football. So, and it's sad that you see some guys who don't realize that and they get caught up in that, and that's all they're really here for. And then they end up failing out of school or just leaving because it's too much for them, too demanding, because they'd rather chase the party. But I don't get caught up in that too much.
Thank you.
The gentleman in the blue jersey.
I'm William Mega with KBIA Sports locally. I wanted to know, with the recent suspensions that were going on a couple months ago, were you there, or do you know what happened with all that?
Yeah, I know what happened with it. I was kind of preparing myself for that question. Those guys that got suspended, they didn't just let the team down. The team let them down as well, because we knew what was going on. We knew what guys were doing outside the locker room and off the field, and we didn't so much encourage it, but nobody really put their foot down and let them know, we need them, And it also shows in the production on the field. I don't really want to go into details, but for the most part, those guys, they did what they did, and it's done. We moved past that. They're back out on the field, working with the team again.
All right. So then, going on to this year, you said that it kind of hurt, or it showed a little bit of production on the field. What are your expectations for this year then?
Well, this year with our new defense coming, the new defensive staff that's been hired, and the new system that they've got, our defense should be much more improved. Our offense will all be back, and our All-American running back, Donald Buckner, he'll be back. Trevor will be back, and Chris Adams will be back. And our core receivers, they'll be back. And our offense always puts up points. That's never a problem, scoring points. Most of the times you've seen a problem in stopping people. And with the new defense and the new defense's attitude, we shouldn't have a problem. We shouldn't be so bad this year. It's going to be a pretty good year.
Next question. The gentleman in the striped shirt.
I'm Siggy with What's Up. As a player, what would you change from the past seasons you played it in? How would you improve yourself?
Me, myself, I'd probably, speed is probably the number one thing in college football. Once you get past the high school level, speed is the number one thing. And for me, I'd probably train harder in the summer. Shoot, not that I don't train hard now, but you got to go that extra mile. You know what I mean? If you want to be the best, compete at the highest level you compete at. So that's one thing I definitely worked on different. And probably my playbook study a little bit.
What was that?